Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my round 2 review. Um, Look, no need to beat around the bush. Let's just jump straight into it. Broncos 28, Rabbitohs 18. I was very close with this one. I said Broncos 28, Rabbitohs 16. That final try by Trell, I was praying that he missed that conversion, but obviously he slotted it. But look, yeah, I'll quickly get the stats up. I said in the video that I think the big difference maker, sorry, about the lighting. By the way, it's midday, so it's all the light from the screen and stuff straight off. That's why I'm so bright. But anyway, look, I said in that video that the Broncos bench would make the difference come that 25, 30th minute mark. Broncos would just take a step up and Rabbitohs would plummet down, and that's pretty much what happened. Really, like you could see by the tries. Right, 3 tries in that sort of 25 to 60 minute mark where the substitute players are on in the middle of the park. All right, I think that was always going to be the big difference maker for the Rabbitohs. Look, across the board, really, it was a pretty average game. Penalties conceded, not penalties, sorry, massive errors, both teams. Like, it was a very scrappy game. But yeah, look, again, just what I mentioned in the video, the Latrell Mitchell stuff after the game clearly shows that he's just not all there. Right, like that interview that he did for, I think it was Triple M, where he's dropping F bombs and all this sort of stuff. It's just like, I think Phil Gould said it best. It shows lack of respect for himself and for his teammates. It's just not on. Simple as that. So look, yeah, I said in that video that I thought all the off-field stuff would distract Latrell. I do think it did distract him in a way, and that's why that sort of interview that he had with Triple M sort of came to fruition, because he was just frustrated with all the off-field stuff, and that interview was just sort of where he blurted it all out. So yeah, look, I think Rabbitohs are in for a very long season if they can't wind Latrell back a bit and get him under control. I wouldn't be surprised if what's his name there, coach Demetrius. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the firing line to get sacked, because he's just not a very good coach. He hasn't been a good coach since he started there after Wayne Bennett. But yeah, look, pretty routine win, like I said in the video. Only 2 points off. Can't be too disappointed with that. Sharks 25, Bulldogs 6. All right. Look, routine win for the Sharks, like I said it would be, but I guess I didn't give our defense enough credit, but I also gave our attack too much credit. I believe I said Sharks would be, yeah, I've got it just over. Sharks would score 34. I mean, look, that's 2 tries short. So not bad there. But I also said Bulldogs would score 14, which is at least 1 more try. Maybe even 2, depending on conversions. But, yeah, look, full disclosure, I didn't watch the second half. But honestly, based off the stats, I'll quickly get the stats up here. Based off the stats of where the tries were scored, I feel like I didn't need to watch the second half, because it seems like a classic routine Bulldogs second half crumble, where for some reason, once it hits that 50th minute mark, and final half hour, we just collapse. I don't know why. Looking through the stats, it looks like it would have been a pretty routine Sharks win. So, can't expect anything different. Can't expect anything from that. There's nothing really too crazy. Obviously, HIAs don't help, but there's nothing really you can do about that. Yeah, look, missed tackles. It genuinely just looks like it was a standard Sharks versus Bulldogs performance, where Sharks just played well and Bulldogs played how they normally play. So really not much to say about this. I can assume, just knowing the Bulldogs, that in that second half we probably had a good 3 or 4 chances that we've just butchered by either probably Matt Burton throwing a dummy running himself and we have a 3-on-2, or dropping a ball that shouldn't be dropped. But pretty routine result, that one. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing too out of the ordinary here, unfortunately. Panthers 26, Eels 18. Yeah, look, again, not a routine win by any stretch of the imagination, but look, what I sort of thought would happen did happen. You could tell Moses was not 100%, because he only took the first conversion and then didn't take the next 2. So you could tell he definitely wasn't 100%. If he's 100%, he's taking those kicks. And I think that's ultimately what would have got them in the long run. Quickly get up the stats. look, across the board, pretty much equal game, really. Very even game across the board. Honestly, the difference I think was genuinely just Moses not being 100% in that second half. So, only Penrith scored in the second half. Yeah, look, I genuinely think that comes down to Moses not being 100% and not being able to impact the game as much as he could have. All right. The two sort of main things to come out of this game, obviously, Jerome Luai. How he's only copped a fine, I don't know. What was it? He tripped someone, like what? He tripped Moses, I think. Yeah, I think he tripped Moses, and then he also had I can't remember what it is. He also did something else. How he's only copping a fine, I don't know. And then I'm not sure who it was from Para, but someone hit Fisher Harris late and busted up his shoulder. And as far as I'm aware, nothing's come of it. How there hasn't been a fine, or at the very least, like a on report or something, I don't know. I don't know who it was off the top, man. I can't remember. But yeah, like Fisher Harris hit late off the ball, like just completely late off the ball, straight into the shoulder. How there wasn't anything done about that, I don't know. But yeah, look, again, pretty simple routine game, this one, where genuinely I think if Moses is fit, I think Eels win. Because Penrith this year do not look good. Like, at the very least at the start of this season, they don't look like the Penrith team of old. They look a bit disorganised. They don't look like they're a complete unit at the moment. Give them a couple of weeks once they've built into the season. By all means, they'll blow everyone out of the park because they are still such a strong squad. And Taylor May's just looking like an absolute machine at centre, taking over for Crichton. But yeah, give it a couple of weeks, by all means. But I guess any team that's versing Penrith, now's the time because they're still warming themselves into the comp. Like, they haven't really come out all guns blazing like they think they would. Parramatta Eels fans, there is room for concern depending on the severity of Moses' groin injury. There's not really much you can do for a groin injury as far as I'm aware, so hopefully Moses can recover pretty quick for you guys. Because, look, Para have a strong squad and they can definitely compete, but if Moses is out, I don't know how... I can't think of the word. I don't know how structured they'll be if Moses isn't there. So, yeah, look, long season ahead for the Eels, especially if Moses is out. But in terms of this game, again, I got this one right. I was, one try off for Penrith and then 2 points off for Parramatta. So, not too bad, really, when you think about it. But yeah, I guess routine Penrith win in this one in the long run. Raiders 32, Tigers 12. Again, another one I got right this round. Again, pretty routine win for the Raiders like I thought it would be. I did think the Tigers would play a little bit better. Look, for Benji's first game, I'll leave the stats away for a second. For Benji's first game, it wasn't terrible. I would say the biggest issue was discipline. All right, so now I'll quickly chuck the stats up for you here. Got them on the side there. Yep. So quickly head down here. Yeah, 13 penalties conceded, 3 ruck infringements. That's under 10 stuff that you should be cleaning up. Like the penalties they were giving away, like lying in the ruck, just silly little things that they just shouldn't be doing. That's what cost them the game in the long run because they honestly didn't look too bad. Their defense wasn't strong, but it was their first game of the season, so you can't be completely on top of them for that. But obviously, it is the NRL. You need your defense to be super strong. You need your defense to be as good as it can be, and their defense wasn't. And Raiders took advantage of that, simple as that. Like I said, I thought the experience of the Raiders would just carry them over the top, and I do believe that's what happened. The Raiders were just a bit more disciplined, a bit more structured, and they controlled the game for the most part. Zach Hoskins looks like the buy of the season at the moment. He's absolutely killing it. Killed it last week. Killed it against the Tigers this week. Who knows how he'll go next week. Savage looks really good this year. I think being out of that fullback role and just sort of being out wide gives him a little bit less... what's the word? I can't think of the word. But look, it lets him sort of relax a little bit more and just sort of play his natural game, as opposed to where he's a fullback where he's got to be getting involved everywhere. So I think Savage being out wide is really good. Ethan Strange looks like a really good player for them in 5'8". He looks like he'll be a perfect replacement for Jack Whiten. So yeah, look, positive signs for the Raiders. I'm still not convinced that they're gonna really push that top 8 because they haven't really versed the toughest of sides to start off the season. But look, all signs point to them doing really well this year. Look, West Tigers have potential; they can build, but at the end of the day, another pretty routine win this round, and another correct prediction from me. So let's go. Cowboys 21, Knights 20. Look, so I put Cowboys for this one. I thought they'd win 24-16, so only to win by one. I got it right, but quickly, just before I get into the review of the game, just when it comes to stuff like this, like maybe it's just me. Let me know in the comments below if you feel the same. But I think extra time shouldn't be a thing during the regular season. Like if both teams, if you can't break down the other team in the 80 minutes you've got, you should both come away with a point. That's my thoughts on it. I don't understand why we can't have draws in rugby league. Because, let's say come end of the season, if both teams only got a point from this game and one of them makes the top 8 by 1 point and 4 and against or something, when, another team misses out or something like that, it can completely change the dynamic of the comp, so I just think if two teams are equal, they deserve equal points. I don't like the whole concept of extra time during the regular season. Just want to get that out of the way. Now, onto the game. This was probably one of the worst games of rugby league I've watched in a long time. It was so scrappy. It was ridiculous. Let me get the stats up here. But just down the bottom here, this is all you need to look at right here. 27 errors across the two of them. In total, 23 penalties / 6 again calls. 23. It was just such a scrappy game. Actually, 24 because you got inside the 10 as well. So 24. 24 set restarts, penalties, errors, where the game would just stop and restart. It was just such a scrappy game. Neither team could get any momentum going, and it was just little moments that won the game, really. You had that run from Elliott at the start to get their try. Cowboys sort of built themselves back into the game in the second half, right, and obviously won in the end. But yeah, it was just such a scrappy game, and just one of the worst games I think I've ever seen Valentine Holmes play. I think he had 5 errors just to himself. That's mental for Valentine Holmes. But yeah, look, there's really nothing you can sort of judge off on this game because it was genuinely such a scrappy game. You can't really sit there and say X played well, Y played well, because it was just so stop and start. Neither team could build momentum and go off the back of it. So yeah, look, obviously I predicted right Cowboys would win, but Jesus Christ, it was just such a bad game. It was a terrible game to watch. So many errors, so many penalties. Just a terrible game to watch, really, overall. But look, again, another prediction I got right, so happy about that. And on to the next game. Storm 30, Warriors 26. Game of the round. Easy game of the round. Topped off by an absolutely incredible Xavier Coates try. That try, absolutely incredible. I've seen a lot of people online speculating what could Watene Zelezniak have done any different. And realistically, there's nothing. Really, what winger expects their opposition winger to dive from essentially 5-6 meters out into the air like that and put the ball down like that? You can't defend that. That's just an incredible thing from Xavier Coates. But yeah, look, I'll quickly get the stats up, but look, I don't think the stats really matter for this game. Across the board, it was genuinely just an even game, back and forth. Melbourne's discipline at times did hurt them, but in the long run, it obviously didn't hurt them because their defense is so strong. But yeah, look, honestly, just across the board, just a classic game of footy, a fantastic back and forth game of footy. For the Storm, seeing Pappenhausen back is fantastic. Seeing him not at his best yet, because he's still got a little bit to go, still easing himself back into it. But seeing him just no fear, hitting those inside holes, knowing he's probably going to get whacked, but still hitting him anyway. It's great to see. It looks like he's still got his confidence, which is all you can really ask for. Looks like that's really good for Storm. I think in the end it was just genuinely just the Storm's experience pushed them over the edge. For the Warriors, look, if they can find that perfect balance between structure and off the cuff, the sky's the limit for them, honestly. Because look, they were very well structured in this game, but then also their off the cuff where they scored their tries was fantastic as well. Yeah, look, genuinely, just there's not much to say really. Just game of the round, simple as that. I didn't think Warriors would score as many points as they did. I think I said the score would be 28-16, I think. So obviously they outscored what I thought I would, but look, easy game of the round. As I mentioned, great to see Pappy back. Warriors, if they can find that balance, easy title contenders. Genuinely, like their defense is strong enough. Like once they really sort of build into it, and their defense sort of what's the word? Gels a bit better, then they're going to be really strong like they were last year. But yeah, that that Xavier Coates try, man, that was just incredible, absolutely amazing. Try of the year already. I don't see much beating that really. But yeah, another prediction right. Thank God, doing a lot better than we did last week, eh? Manly 21, Roosters 14. Yeah, look, another one I got right. I thought it would be Manly 24, Roosters 18. But yeah, look, another pretty good game. Honestly, just errors killed the game, really. Errors and penalties. I'll quickly bring it up. Look, I'll be honest, the refereeing in this game. So I've got friends that are both from Manly and, my dad's a Manly supporter and I got a mate that's a Roosters supporter. Just talking to both of them during the game and seeing how both of them would complain about the same thing, but the opposite side of the complaint was just hilarious. But as a neutral, the refereeing in this game was just fucking dreadful. It was terrible. Obviously, Roosters didn't do themselves any favors. 20 errors. You can't blame a referee for errors. No matter how bad the refereeing is, no matter how much momentum you're losing, you can't blame the referee for simple errors. But yeah, look, again, a scrappy game of footy that was just ruined by bad officiating and then errors off the back of it. So yeah, look, really not much to say about this game, really. Across the board, even game otherwise. Obviously, Manly had more of the ball, which you expect when a team has bloody 20 errors just to themselves, right? So you expect Manly to have more ball. But yeah, look, pretty routine game, really. Manly's outside backs are scary. If they can really get firing, oh man, who knows what's going to happen. They're so fast. Like, Turbo's quick. Kula is quick. Saab, when he gets back from injury, is quick. Garrick is quick. Like, they have so much speed out wide. If they can control that middle and then get the ball on the outside, it's game over for everyone, honestly. That's also if Turbo stays fit, which who knows if that's going to happen. But yeah, look, I think Roosters obviously should have got probably to 18 because Sam Walker missed a couple of conversions, so could have been 18, like 21-18. But yeah, look, pretty standard game of footy when one team has 20 errors. The team that has the most errors, you normally expect them to lose. So yeah, pretty routine game there. Relatively close with the score, so I'm not too upset with that. But I'm happy to get another prediction correct this week. Dolphins 38, Dragons 0. Full disclosure, I didn't watch this game. I was at OzTag training, so I didn't watch the game. But yeah, reality check for the Dragons, wouldn't you say? Look, I'll quickly just bring up the stats straight away. Just based off what I can guess, I would say that errors killed the Dragons, really. Where was it? It was the completion rate, like 92% completion rate to 74. Obviously I don't know when they were making the errors in their sets, but I'm assuming they were probably early on in the sets. So just when you're giving up that much ball that early on, you're gonna concede. Yeah, look, honestly, I have nothing to say about this game other than Dragons fans, welcome back to reality. I saw a lot of Dragons fans online, after the round one, genuinely saying that, this is our year, we're just going to build off this and go and go and go. And, reality is hit. You're not that good. But yeah, look, I obviously thought Dragons would actually win this game. I actually had faith that they would roll on the back of this off the back of a Ben Hunt masterclass, but I don't know if that happened. The only thing I saw from Ben Hunt was how he booted Jeremy Marshall King in the head with the footy. Obviously accidentally when he was going for a kick, but yeah. Look, I saw Ben Hunt hit a 40-20. He always does that, so, I can assume Ben Hunt did what he does, and the rest of the team just sort of plummeted and failed for him. But yeah, look, from the Dolphins side, I mean, look, what more can you say? 38-0 shutout. Like, you can't really sing praises of that much more. I believe it was Hammer's first ever hat trick, so awesome for him. Jake Averillo's debut for the Dolphins scores a try as well. Really happy for Jake. Obviously, as a Bulldogs fan, I never wish we sold him, but happy to see that he's getting a start and scoring a try in his debut at his new club. But yeah, look, I guess routine win for the Dolphins. I think this was the only game this week that I actually got wrong. I think I got every game right this week except this one. So, I mean, look, 7 out of 8 is not too bad. Routine win there for the Dolphins. Not much you can say about that. But, yeah, look, with that said, guys, that's my round 2 review. Look, obviously, I'll do my round 3 predictions probably Thursday afternoon before the kickoff of the first game. So if you haven't seen it yesterday, the return of Wayne on the channel with a dropkicking video, and tomorrow there will actually be a special little pilot episode for a challenge game that we're sort of thinking of doing. So that'll be out tomorrow. But look, until next time, guys, have a good one. Yeah, take it easy.